What's going on, YouTubes? Hope you're all doing well. I look sharp and sweaty because I just got back from a workout. And Mad Dog is in the chat. What's going on, everyone? So, yeah, we're talking about House of the Dragon, Season 3, Episode 4, entitled Tumbleton. And you know what? I thought we'd get Tumbleton in Episode 5. I know we discussed this last week in terms of when we might see certain events unfold. And yeah, I was quite shocked at the name of the episode for episode 4. I was like, we are jumping to that? I'm like, wait, they're actually skipping ahead for once and actually not dragging this out like a dog dragging its ass on a carpet, trying to get the shit off its fur. But man, what an episode. I'm kind of curious to see where people think about this episode and talking about, does this seem better or worse than episode 3? And now that we're halfway through season 3 officially, where does it stand compared to the other 3 episodes? So, yeah, what up, Friday Network? How you doing, brother? Yeah, I did shoulders. We did some dumbbell lateral raises with some 25 pound dumbbells, and we did some I'm trying to get back in better strength from doing standing overhead presses. So I'm doing like 35 pound dumbbells at each hand. And then we did some shoulder shrugs. We did some rope face pulls. Love cable face pulls. And some more lateral, shoulder blade, rhomboid movements. So it was good. It was a good, like 40-minute workout. Feeling good now. So I was a little confused last night with all the different factions. Heard better than 3. Yo, what up, Drac? How you doing, man? I like it more than 3, but episode 2 is still the best. Yeah, I think 2 is definitely the best so far. Definitely could have better. I'm like, oh well, we got Ormund's ass. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for a thumbnail, which is why there is no thumbnail, and I need to figure out what I want to do for a thumbnail still. Apologies, but I was like, do I just put Ormund's ass with like just blur it out? We got Ormund's ass before fat Rhaenyra. Imagine that, y'all. Back on my diet today. I've been slacking. Man, dude, Jamma. Speaking of fat Rhaenyra, since June was my birthday month, right? And that's the only thing that really mattered in June. Nothing else mattered in June. But I definitely ate a lot. I was just super, super lenient in how much I drank. I drank a lot last month, which I usually don't do, but I'm like, whatever. It's hot outside. I went to the beach a lot, went to the pool a lot. Went to Epcot a couple times, drank around the world as you should. Ate a lot of food, and I'm like, man, I'm definitely weighing heavy, but feeling strong too. So I'm definitely cutting back down. I'm consistently waking up at 186 pounds. So, but I'm like, I kind of want to cut to like 175. But, what's up, Dave? How you doing, man? Didn't hate this episode as much as 3. Writers continue to make Daemon an idiot. Yep. Why hasn't he killed Mysaria yet? Brother, I wish we knew, because, man, I cannot stand her. Especially being on the council when she should not be on the council, because the book states she was never on the council, but yet here she is being like, oh, well, if you hire a master of coin, then we can blame him because, blame the man and not the woman. About my acting right there was probably better than hers. And yeah, how did she know? That was one of the things I'm like, dude is out in BFE. There's not a soul around. how could she possibly know that the head that he brings forth was not the head of the person that was actually riding Sheepstealer? Because no one had visual confirmation. But she's just, I just think it's like she just hates Daemon. So it's like she's just going to try and start shit because that's all she's good. She's good at doing, right? Bro, Aemon's out knocking up Alice Rivers, man. He's hitting that poontang. Beans. Evening, Beans. Yeah, I think she just kind of like was like, it's super convenient for you to done for like you to have found this person. I'm like, bro, why you overstepping here, Lady Misery? This is Daemon freaking Targaryen we're talking about here, with arguably the most baddest dragon as well. You don't think he's capable enough to finding out? I mean, obviously he did find who it was. I mean, I think one of the biggest surprises, y'all, was that it's not actually Rhaena who flew and was in the cave with Sheepstealer. It was actually Lori Lightfoot. Lori Lightfoot was riding on Sheepstealer. Syria knows things because she read. Yeah. A lady wrote the script and gave it to another lady. Hello, Sherry. Sherry with the bait, the foot bait. Good to see you, Sherry. Hope you're doing well. Was this Daemon has done the body swapping before with the guy he killed in place of Rhaenyra. That's true. Going back to a play he's done before, I guess. Yeah, it's sort of like this isn't his first rodeo. So he knows a thing or two about doing a bit of a swap and fooling people because it worked before. Could definitely work again. Last, I think it was. And you know the other thing too, the way that last week when we watched the preview trailer for this week for episode 4, and you see like Kristen Cole and the other knights in front of Alice, right? And she's like, "Oh no!" And like you hear like the roaring of like Vhagar or whatever it is, and like they just definitely like cut it up to fool people. But when she's like, "Oh yeah, you didn't know that Rhaenyra took King's Landing? Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to spoil that." Like, I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, so dumb. Because like, like, and I think there's a point where, okay, two things. Number one, I don't know if Aemon not meeting Kristen Cole now at Harrenhal is out of place and like what they're really doing with that yet. Because, at one point they deviate, right? Like they kind of go in their separate ways. I'm like, we're already doing that? No way, right? Like they're supposed to meet again. So either they haven't gotten to that yet, which again, like, why are they dragging ass? Why haven't we not seen Aemon again? But yeah, who knows, honestly. Good. I am glad you're swell. Sherry swell. Jax, how's it going, my friend? Yeah, so that's the other big question. Is Sunfyre dead? Because, like, we all know well, maybe not we all, but some people who've read the book know the importance that Sunfyre has. But I don't know if they're going to stay true to that. And if Sunfyre is actually dead, then what dragon is going to take Sunfire's place? Is Aegon going to somehow steal and ride someone else's dragon? Or will another dragon and another rider take over for what would have been Aegon and Sunfyre. But I think in this episode it was almost meant to fool people, right? Like when Aegon's like, no, he's alive. I hear it. I hear his heartbeat. He's alive. I'm like, my dude, that dragon is either in the deepest of slumbers, worse than Smaug it was in a slumber in Erebor, or like you're just hearing things, my dude, because you're all scarred and everything like that. So you're just deformed. Maybe your hearing's a bit messed up too. Maybe your eardrums not quite what they used to be. So maybe that's a different reverberation you're actually hearing and not Sunfyre's heartbeat. But man, either they're playing us all for fools and thinking that dragon is actually like dead, or they're gonna come up with some excuse saying like, nah, it's just in a slumber. It's fine. I think Ormund having Daeron kill the guy is a contrast, parallel, bad version of Aemon telling Jon, kill the boy and let the man be born because it looked like Daeron's first kill and time to grow up. Yeah, I mean, I think with Ormund making Daeron do that, right? Because again, I don't recall any of that happening in the book. Of course, the whole swap never took place. Him having reddish brown hair also not the case too, right? So there's a lot of deviations, as we all know, from the book in this point. But it was definitely of that sort where like you've been my squire. Like now it's time to put your big boy britches on. Here's my sword. Kill this guy. And like I appreciate too from Daeron thinking like, but as a king also must know when to show mercy, right? Like a king can show swift judgment and even wrath to a certain extent. But I think a good king also knows and should know how to deliver mercy when called for. Much like when we see one of the knights that follows Ormond, right? And he goes in the house with Hugh's wife and brother and his wife, right? Breaks the arm, or breaks his wife's arm, right? So I was kind of shocked that Ormond was like, I rule an eye for an eye. You're gonna break this dude's arm and punish him the same way. I was like, oh damn, okay, Ormond, like I respect you, all right. But then later on it was like, hey Daeron, my boy, come over here. Listen, remember that dude we kind of helped out? Yeah, you got to kill him now. Here's my sword. Just kind of give him a poke. But why? No. We have to show and lead by example. You have to learn how to be king because, listen, Rhaenyra doesn't need to be on the throne. And if Aegon's gone, guess what? You got that succession, my boy. So guess what? You need to kind of learn how to become a man and deliver that punishment, that judgment. And you can see a little bit of concern in the actor's face. Again, which same. I think we discussed it 2 weeks ago, but that's the same actor that's playing Link in the Zelda movie. So I'm also kind of looking at him like, how is he going to portray Link here? Even though it's different, completely different character, right, from Daeron. But I actually. I like the actor so far. We haven't had, this is the first time we've seen him. So I'm like, hey, you know what? Pretty good so far as maybe an initial introduction. So, okay, cool. But yeah, he even turns away right when his dragon, which I'm blanking his name. Oh my God. Dreamfire, right? Just was like, all right, master, now my turn. You know, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. Like that was a total orc dragon moment. Sunfire's body wasn't rotting, but they showed that later. Meleus's corpse was rotting, and I think that was a clue that Sunfire's just snapping. Right, and that was like an interesting comparison from the top down view, where you're like, okay, we get two top down views. They both fell the same day, right? Same moment. They both fought and collapsed from the sky. one body looks different than the other. So I appreciate you catching that, Dave, because I was like, wait a second, that body looks like it's decomposing, and like Sunfyre's is pretty much still intact. Like you saw some like flies around it and everything like that, but I mean, you didn't see anything else from the body like looking different than it normally would. Aside from the fact like this thing just looks like it's again dead asleep. You know, no pun intended, but um oh with Sunfyre being like asleep. You know, yeah, it could have been a little bit quicker. The power of friendship, since he is Aegon's only friend. That's true. And I feel like if anyone knew that Sunfyre was alive, you'd think it would be Aegon. Like any like no one else would guess that because of the connection, right? Of that bond that they have, like much like with any dragon, it would be, you know, with like Caraxes or and Daemon, right? I mean, I don't know if I'd say so much like Aemond and Vhagar, but I mean, most of the time, the writer has a connection with the dragon, right? So, yeah, that's a good point. And that's kind of what I was thinking about prior to this. Like, there's some nice themes in this episode, surprisingly, with like some like parallelism where you have on the green side with Aegon and Sunfyre, who are in the same, like they're at the bottom of the barrel. Like, you know, Sunfyre is down and out. Aegon is no longer king. He had to, you know, flee. You know, no one knows who he is. He doesn't even look the same. So like his title, his right to the throne, the being an heir, the king, like, you know, everything about him has been stripped away, much like everything about being a dragon has been stripped away, almost like life itself. So it is really interesting. But man, how that poetry is going to come back like a Shakespearean thorn. Funny seeing the dragon sizes now with like ages of the character when the dragons hatch compared to the dragons Game of Thrones. They size them way too much up. I mean, aside from like the bigger dragons, like, you know, Vermithor, Sea Smoke, obviously, Syrax, Caraxes, and Vhagar. I mean, dude, like Daeron's dragon is like little bitty. I'm like, you could fit him in that room. I mean, like we saw in episode 3 when he's just like standing by. I'm like, my brother, there's like 3 dragons that could probably swallow that dragon whole. Beans, equal rights, equal fights, or equal rights, equal lefts, right? Ormund is contrast to Ned Stark, the man who passes the sentence should swing the sword. 100%. Episode 1, Game of Thrones. Yep. Dick move. Tessarian, that's right. Yeah. Oh my. Dreamfire is Helena's dragon. Sorry. Yeah. I gave up after. What's up, Creamage? I gave up after episode 2. Good choice. Episode 4 is better than 3, Creamage. Episode 3 was, I don't want to say it was a nothing burger, but it was kind of like, it almost felt like filler to me because there's obviously some more deviations, but this one was definitely better. Because like, if you think about, and we mentioned this last week, episodes 1 and 2 this season would have been the last 2 episodes of season 2. So episode 3 of season 3 would have initially been the season opener. So if you look at it in that light, this is the second episode of season 3, which again would have been better, but you know, the Blue Queen. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some people on X already that's like, nah, man, like they killed Sunfyre. Sunfire's like dead. They're gonna scoop the whole story. And I'm like, well, they've kind of done that already to a certain extent, but right, yeah. Syrax should be bigger than Sunfyre for sure. I think Sunfire's going to come back. And then I'll comment on people's X posts and be like, why you starting shit already, bro? But they also cut off Melee's head to parade around the King's Landing, so for sure dead while Sunfyre was just left there with his head still. True. That is true. And I don't remember if they said they didn't find Sunfyre. Well, obviously they did, but out of respect maybe for the king. Because like Melee's was obviously the traitor. They all held on the scene for too long for him not to come back later. Yeah, and I think that was maybe the intent too. Like, let's linger with this scene here a bit more, so that way, like, you maybe have a little bit more presumption that Sunfyre is in fact alive. Because I think if it, as Clubfoot is, Larys is talking and giving up coins, this entire time, Aegon is realizing and then just not giving up hope. And who knows, maybe it was like, oh, you know what? If Sunfyre is still there, can still detect Aegon, and it's sort of like bringing that life back. But like, it's like, hey, my dude, my brother, my two-legged brother, I'm going to just rest for a little bit, and I'm going to come back when you're ready. And then we're going to F shit up. All the Rhaena stuff I didn't like, but it's kind of like dumb writing to make it seem like Rhaena would kill her. She'd be mad, but tell her to be loyal. She'd be her stepmom for like 10 years. Yeah, we're going to get into that Rhaenyra or Rhaena stuff here in just a second. But yeah, episode 3 did turn Daemon into an idiot just for the plot twist. What's up, Corvo? Do you ever check out classic media, and what sort of genres are you wheelhouse or favorites? Like pop culture stuff. I'd say I don't typically talk about horror. I'm a big Tolkien fan. I mean, I love fantasy, sci-fi, action, obviously masculine things, of course, but I like macho stuff too. I mean, generally, if there's good writing and good characters, then I'll watch it, or I'll at least give it some of my attention. But I mean, I went to college and got my degree in English literature and creative writing. Sort of as a fun fact about me that people may or may not know. So I spent 4 years reading a slew of literature and writing plenty of papers, and also engaging in a lot of workshops that, you sit down with your peers and you write a paper, or so much a paper, but you write. I took fiction workshops, nonfiction workshops, poetry workshops, storytelling, and I'm trying to think what else I took in college. Just a lot of literature stuff, literary theory. So that was kind of like what led to the name of my channel too, with the plot, because that was something we always talked about, and character development was always a big thing with me. And which it kind of sucks when you see characters that are destroyed from a book sense to TV shows or movies, right? This is why I can't stand like Rings of Power. And obviously having trouble here with some of the Game of Thrones stuff too, but there's plenty of stuff out there I've not read that I would love to read, like the Wheel of Time saga, those books. At some point I will get to them. But man, that show was rough. Currently cooking my own undergraduate. Nice. Currently engaging with the core content. Met an English major in my 20s. I think I read more than her, even though at the time I was a stoner. My whole MO was to get high as a kite every day. I mean, listen, when you're in college, and obviously, I mean, I was in a band and I was playing shows every weekend all across Florida, and obviously during the summer we would go on like road trips, tours, and once I was done with college, I still did the same. So I was a partier, and I didn't smoke for a long time. Uh, Not that I smoke now, but I do like the THC seltzers. They're nice. And you can buy from the store, which is also nice. But edibles are also cool. Not saying you should do them, but it's good just to kind of help me sleep, because I have restless nights sometimes, and not like true insomnia, but just there's just so much to deal with in life, and you just kind of have to shut the brain down a little bit. But even though magnesium can kind of help with that in a more healthier state. Anyway, but yeah, I partied all the time in college, and that's basically when I first started drinking coffee, was in college, because like I had to pull all nighters writing papers and like trying to like I took a whole course for Shakespeare, and I still have all my Shakespeare books, and I had my Shakespeare class every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday through I think it was like a fall semester, 8 a.m. to 9:15 a.m. That sucked so much. And after that period of time, I was like, I hate Shakespeare now. Although I think my favorite Shakespearean play is Titus Andronicus. But, past life, right? I read a ton, and I don't read as much as I used to, but I like to pick up a book here and there and take my time with it. I'm not trying to rush through it. I don't have to rush through it and write a bloody paper on it. But something I did think about too, like for a YouTube sense, I wanted to have some sort of like book club type of, not so much show or stream, but like maybe something that I did like once a month. I don't know if I do it on the same channel or create a new channel, but like actually kind of have like we set aside a book. We give everyone time, because especially for an adult with a full life, and you got a lot of things going on, and like reading even like a 300-page book, whatever it happens to be, like you want to enjoy it, you want to take some notes and think about it, and have things to bring to the table to kind of like discuss. That's something I had thought about doing, honestly, because I don't see people doing that, and I know a lot of people actually do read online as much as people likes to joke around. But cannibalism. Did I say that? No, but no. But yeah, who knows? It could be something that we do in the future. But yeah, good question, Corbo. I've seen people on Twitter who get screeners saying episode 5 is really good. The trailers for the rest of the season, it pictures don't indicate much, but there's hoping. Yes, we are definitely going to watch the trailer for next week, which I did watch it after the episode, and I'm like, because it says like on the rest of the season of season 3, and I'm like, they didn't do like episode 5. They just said the rest of the season. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm like, are we just gonna get straight battles every episode? Okay. Maybe the rest of the season might not be dog water after all. Now, they could obviously change and deviate still, so that remains to be seen. Not an intentional parallel, but Aegon licking the boot was sort of like Cersei licking the puddle of water on the floor of our cell, do anything to survive. Yeah, I mean, those boots definitely look and smell like shit. So, but yeah, good. That's what I kind of thought. I'm like, it seems like a callback to the show, but obviously like those events hadn't yet taken place in that universe. But yeah, I love when Aegon showed his royal side and called people insolent. I'll have your tongue. It's really funny. And there's was smart this episode. A lot of stuff I liked and some I hated, just a mixed bag. Yeah, this episode was kind of like up and down in certain points. Like when Aegon had that outburst, and I'm like, dude just wants to be like, I'm the king so bad, but no one is going to believe him, right? And it would just be one of the worst things to do, because they'd be like, oh, we could just totally give you to Rhaenyra, and then you're definitely screwed, right? Jumbling, being in a band while also reading English lit is a huge accomplishment. Congrats. Thank you. And I also wrote lyrics for my band too, so that kind of helped. I loved writing song lyrics. Yo, Philip Morgan, dude, where have you been? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. But hope you're good, my friend. And yes, those early days I do not like. And like getting up early to then to drive to the university also sucked too. My college lit courses helped me flesh out my book series. And even though it felt like a waste of time back then, I'm thankful I toughed it out. Yeah, that's always something that, again, you wonder how those skills will ever come into play at some point in time. And I think things that I've learned and studied have helped over the years. And for one reason or another, I'm still thankful for it. I never got a job that really was like a direct path to it. Because at that point, I'm like, I don't even know what you can get for a job after that. I'm like, in hindsight, I'm like, this might have been one of the worst decisions of my life, but who knows if it will be in the future? Because I still have, hopefully, knock on wood, have a long time to live. So, but Jana, what's up, girlie? How you doing? Good to see you, ladies in the chat. Love to see it. I think I sat down and read a book in like a year. Last one was Marlowe's Dr. Faustus. God, what was the last one I read? Well, obviously rereading parts of the Fire and Blood, with right here bookmarked and where we're at in the show. But what was the last one I read? Terminalist. Getting ready to read the second Terminalist book because that's something we'll cover in the near future. Yes, it does. But I don't like cannibalism. I just like to play. But yo, what's up, Brent? How you doing, man? Licking the boot. How bad was the scene? Was it as graphic as Alex licking the person's shoe in Clockwork Orange? Maybe about the same. I haven't watched Clockwork Orange in a while. What a movie. Part of my junior and senior year were during COVID, so my college lit classes, including reading a half of Frankenstein on 2 times speed to write about a couple themes. Got my degree, even though I don't know how to use it now. Hey, man, that happens. That happens. Jam, I get jealous when you look at Nick, too. We are allowed to give hot takes. Yes, sir. Anyone with hot takes, fire away. Good. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Yeah, this is Drunk 3POs. Welcome to the rebellion from the 9 Line Apparel. I have a hat as well. Same design, everything like that. Really, really nice shirts. 9 Line has some good material. I got the feeling of one of the townies was suspicious of Aegon's identity. Yeah. And I'm not sure if that's going to correlate at all in the show, but I agree with AG Communications. I got out of AG 2 years ago. The water and laws situation in California was very annoying. I bet. I think rereading as you go along definitely counts as reading. That's true. What's as long as you've gone in your my life without reading? I mean, there's probably definitely some. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know if I've said I don't know if I've gone a whole year ever without reading, but probably like a solid like 6 to 8 months. Maybe like a decade ago. I want to say it's probably like when I did not do a lot of reading, because it helps if I was either traveling or like being at a beach or something like that, pools. That's great times to read at that point. But I think Sunfyre gets very end. Yeah, I think we were kind of talking about this a little bit before you joined, Brent. But I think majority of us are in conclusion that Sunfyre is definitely alive and will come back right when Aegon's ready to make that stand. Hot take: book talk is fucking toxic. Yeah, absolutely. Moomy, how you doing, Moomy? Hot takes might get Gemma to ban you for life. Brent, gotta watch him. He's one of them Alien Earth fans.
Holy shit.
Bro, Malad's out here just throwing not daggers, fucking spears tonight. I try a lot for work, so my reading is listen to audiobooks. Dude, yeah, I actually probably listen to more audiobooks than I actually read nowadays because, when I do drive, I like to listen to audiobooks. And if I'm like rest stops, audiobooks, even like when I'm working out, sometimes I'll just listen to an audiobook. So, Molly lies. Oh, we're getting some slander in the chat. When the audiobook is free on YouTube, then I could just throw on the subtitles on. It's my favorite. Oh yeah, 100%. She's tossing flaming spears. Yeah, right. So Daemon. Let's talk about. I don't think we've talked a lot about Daemon yet tonight. Why did Daemon lie? Title of the stream, but also, man was just like, here's the head. I found it. Which again, I smart on his behalf, right? And I think it was quite interesting when he couldn't even really control his dragon. It's like, oh, wait a second. Like, I've got the gold, which man brought back the head of Sheepstealer, which is what Rhaenyra wanted, and he brought back gold for the treasury. Man's out here completing main quests while no one else is doing anything really. Now, I will say that Lord Corlys, again, he wasn't in this episode a lot either. And then he's just like, yeah, I'm out of here because this queen's pissing me off. Like, well, you're the hand of you're the hand. Like, shouldn't you be sitting on this council meeting? It's like, I got better things to do. It just dips out. I'm like, hey, man, I feel you. Because Rhaenyra is obviously, acting a fool right now. And he's like, yeah, just Alan, you take my spot. He's like, but I'm not meant for this. I know nothing of politics. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Which I don't think he did a bad job on the council. But he did better than Lady Misery. That's for damn sure. I'm trying to see if I can rewind this episode I have here. Audiobooks can be much more easy way to enjoy nonfiction, but I find it I retain far less information. That's true. I mean, like, listening to me is easier, but yeah, it's you definitely retain more reading it. I think the vision of Lena fucked them up. Oh, 100%. It's like the way Daemon, and I'm just trying to find it in this this link I have here, which I'll share in a second if I can find the bloody spot. But he's shook. He's like, Rhaena, what are you doing? He's like, but how? It's a wild fucking dragon. I got that bond, Pops. And then she kind of like, slanders him for being like a shitty father. And it's like, well, hey, listen, Dad didn't want to be your dad in the first place, but here we are. I mean, I didn't think he was going to kill her either. So it's like, all right, he's going to let her go for sure. Because And I'm like, please just don't, for the love of God, do not say your name is Nettles now. That's all I wanted to not see. And at least, thank God we didn't see that, right? Because that would have been just an even worse travesty than not having Nettles in the first place. So, but let's see here. Is this the scene? Yeah, I think I got a good part. Jana, you're leaving? What the hell? Yeah. Daemon's. I got better things to do. Or Corliss, yeah, I'm gonna be a Giga Chat and get the hell out of here. We should put a reference for how much the 10,000 gold actually accounts to, like, for a city of 500,000. Seems like enough to pay the guards and workers for a month or two. Yeah, and I think it's what Daemon said. Like, we just need to pay the guards, or otherwise there's going to be bedlam. So it's just enough to get by until they can actually get their coin back, or try to figure something else out in the meantime, right? Because they've got homeboy who was in the Fantastic Beasts movies, right? I forget his name. Let me where's the tab? There it is. So like this part here.
I bring vengeance. I also bring gold.
That dude. Who is like he moved the cup out of the way. Who's the new master of coin. Right, it's like, who the hell is this? Well, actually, it's the shepherd who is down below with some sheep, where I found the real rider, my daughter, on Sheepstealer. Getting rid of all the men so Rhaenyra can have an all woman council. Dude, I think we said that last week. I'm like, they're just hitting the nail on the head, driving it in to saying the childhood friends are going to somehow reunite, and she's going to look to Alice. I mean, she's already did in this episode again. I wouldn't be surprised if she's like, hey, Allison, I could really use you even more than ever. Would you have it? Like, dude, that would, man, I can't wait to see if that happens. I've been awake since 3 a.m. Yeah, Beans, you gotta get up early, girly. But understandable. Get that beauty sleep. And I don't know what I'm streaming next. Might stream Thursday, might stream Friday. We'll see. But if not, next Monday for sure. So enjoy your hump day Wednesday tomorrow. And hopefully work is good for you. Do I remember the scene of Daemon hugging the younger versions of his daughters after Helaena died? Should not have been cut out. Vaguely. But yeah. I agree. To be fair, he thinks she is an Essos watching his sons. That's true. That is true. He's trying to protect his daughter, but Jane Eyre and all her guards know Rhaena is on Sheepstealer. The info is going to yeah, I think that might come back to bite Daemon in the ass. Like, something's going to happen, and it might cause a rift between Rhaenyra and Daemon. Lord Patsy. Eddie Redmayne. That's not a Redmayne, but he is in the movie with Eddie Redmayne. Yeah. Not very convincing. Did he seem really out of his depth with politics, or did he just signal that to get out of having to deal with it? Probably just he probably just did that just to get out of it. Honestly, I don't think he really cares for it so much because I think he's like a warrior, right? He's a captain, he's a leader, and I think also the fact that she still has not given them their last fucking names is bugging him. It's bugging me. Like by this point, they already have Valerian as their last name, as their surname. Just stop being a bad queen and give them their bloody names. It ain't hard. Dan Fogler, yes. There we go. Sheepstealer honorary Welsh citizenship bestowed to them by Mahler. Yeah, there we go. Rhaenyra, Alicent, Mysaria, and Helaena will make up the Black Council, unintentionally demonstrating why women shouldn't rule. I mean, we're close, right? And then, here's the other thing. I'd have to go back and find it, but it happens earlier on. Bugged me. Again, minor inconvenience. Hopefully I can pinpoint it, but did I just nail the spots? Maybe not. Hold on. I'm trying to rewind. But Rhaenyra refers to herself as... Hold on. 1 second. Hold on, y'all. Here it is. All right. Hold on. Let me reshare my tab. Again, it's a slight deviation in dialogue, but like, why did you beat around the bush with this? It's less powerful words in discourse than what's in the bloody book. I want you to listen. Hold on. Right here.
He dares me to rain fire down on a seat that raised my banner. And the realm would name me Maegor Returned.
Is it so bloody hard just to literally say Maegor with teats? Literally says it in the book. Literally says it in the book. You know, George doesn't write a ton of dialogue in this history book as it is, but he writes Maegor with teats. Why can't you just do that? Do you think that it's somehow demeaning or degrading of Rhaenyra? Literally. Right freaking here. On this bloody ass page. In this book I have page 467, first paragraph. One wit named Rhaenyra, King Maegor with teats. And for 100 years thereafter, Maegor teats was a common curse among Kingslanders. You're trying to evoke the harshness of what people might say about you as someone who's trying to be a better ruler, but thinking about the things, the worst things that people could say about you. And you just say, oh, Maegor returned. Come on, man. That was such a cop out. Literally, I was watching that and I'm like, come on. And I think a dude wrote this fucking episode and I'm like, bro, you're a cuck. That's bullshit, man. No, she definitely should. Because she's not saying what she would call herself. She's saying what people would call her. She would say, people are going to call me Maegor with teats. And that's fitting because that's exactly what the book says. They would call me Maegor with teats. Again, they will deviate so much down to the very dialogue that George has written. What more do they need to do? Get together names, assuming could deliver keys to all the kingdoms on a platter, would still not give it to them. The only thing that's left to do is just Rhaenyra to pull her head out of her ass and then say, okay, I'm going to give you your names. I don't even know if that's going to happen at all in this entire show, because if it's too late and the betrayals take place, well, then guess what? Like, bitch, you should have given me my fucking name. I'm going to roast your ass now. I'm going to turn on you. That's the point. Oh, can't say anything bad about women. The common folk with tipples. Yeah. But that's the point though. Like it should be bad. Like they've said worse things in the original Game of Thrones show than this. Yeah, they're just I mean, listen, we live in a world where people want to cut their fucking tits and dick off. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand how that could be so freaking harsh. If anything, Rhaena would say, please let me serve you. Then Rhaena would turn into the number one errand girl for all the missions, trying to prove herself to Rhaenyra, feeling guilty. I think, again, there's a more diplomatic approach for Daemon here instead of lying, because if he lied and then Rhaenyra finds out, which I think is going to happen, this is going to sever their relationship even more, maybe even for good, right? Before other things happen, which we won't go into spoilers for people who don't know what happens. But for the sake of looking at the moment in time, Daemon's shook. You're supposed to be in Essos. What am I going to do? I don't recognize you. And then you're just going to disappear and be on your own and have your dragon provide on her. Like, I don't think we're going to see her ever again. Or maybe we will. I don't know. Maybe that's how they just, the showrunners, like, here's how we get rid of Sheepstealer and Rhaena, right? No one will ever see her again. She's gone. Or she's going to come back at the worst time, piss more people off. Maybe she comes back. Oh my God. What if someone from the Vale finds out and then word gets to Rhaenyra that Rhaena was here and that they saw her with a dragon? Rhaenyra is going to question Daemon. Daemon's going to be like, that's a lie. Why would you trust them and not your own, your own blood? But let's just say she does. And then says, why would you lie to me about your daughter? How could your daughter have the dragon? Well, I guess she's part Targaryen, so blood. But what if Rhaena comes back after some time, season 4, right? Comes back and says, I'm Nettles. I'm Nettles now. Because she'd look different. Rhaenyra wouldn't recognize her. I mean, hell, Daemon almost didn't recognize her. But, or that was the last we'll ever see her, which, whatever. Let's just get this rest of the story going. Rhaenyra kind of get on my nerves and started to root for Team Hightower. I mean, Drac, I don't blame you. The only reason I'm still Team Black is because of Daemon. And that's literally it. But I wouldn't cheer for Team Hightower because Aemon is Teemu Daemon, and Sir Criston Cole is a punk that don't really care for. And you know, but Ormond and Daeron, I mean, hey, like they're picking up Team Hightower a little bit in the rankings in the poll here. So how many times did Ormond yell? I'm glad you said that, 40 Viking, because that is a excellent point. Because there are plenty of people that hate that "see you next Tuesday" word. Plenty of people, and yet Ormond yelled it like, "Oh, can I find that part? Hold on, let me see if I can find that part in the show." I don't know if YouTube would block that out with the audio, but maybe I can throw in subtitles and we can count. Because that's a hell of a good point. Not only that, but how many times did the Hound say that through the entirety of like 8 seasons of Game of Thrones, right? Or how many times was that word said, period, throughout 8 seasons of Game of Thrones? But saying Maegor with teats is bad? We're gonna deviate from that? Really? Because saying Maegor returned is weak as a fucking napkin. That's soft. Absolutely soft. Is the baby supposed to be Maelor? So that's why I think Helaena is pregnant with Maelor. Yes. That's what I think. And yeah, so much worse. And I don't get the dude. One of the worst spots to draw the line, honestly. Also, people online don't know if they are trolls or the reaction channels are stupid when they ask who is the father of Helaena the baby is. It's only been a couple months. She just got into 2nd trimester. Yeah. People don't know how to count in months. You know what I mean? She comes back after the Battle of the God's Eye and then leaves with I think that could happen. I think that could happen. Because there is some ambiguity in the book that they could definitely do in the show. Gene regards, the writers probably have Gene rat her out as a strong female power move. Oh yeah, female power play just to try and like take advantage over Rhaenyra. Because I'm sure I wonder if like Rhaenyra will like demand something else of Jane, and then like be like, I already gave you gold, and oh, you're pissing me off now. So by the way, Rhaena's alive. So what would she marries Ormond's son? So I don't know if they will just cut that or what. I don't know if they're going to cut that or not. I mean, when would that happen? Do you think would that happen still in the rest of the season? Rhaenyra. Yeah, I kind of already maybe got that vibe that in her head. Like, remember in the 3rd episode when she's like kind of walking down the halls and she sees like an image of Baela, and I was like, is she in her mind thinking that she's blaming, like subconsciously blaming Baela for Jace's death? Which would be interesting too, because it would almost be like, I mean, there could be a lot of turmoil that gets created between Rhaenyra and Daemon, right? Like, she believes that Daemon lied, and then that's not the right writer's head. And then if it is Rhaenyra's responsible, why would she do such a thing? Why would she turn against her family? She might say, "Oh, she's a traitor. Your daughter's a traitor," And then Daemon could be like, "Okay, like here's the truth," and tell her like in the back room or like in her chambers by herself at that point. But yeah, it could get real messy. And again, all this could have just been avoided if you just put Nettles in the bloody show. Like, I swear, they are creating more problems than solving them in this whole show. Reluctantly, Team Green, since the writers want me to like Team Black too much. Yeah, it's almost like by this point in time, we're kind of being forced. Well, not so much forced, but we're we're trying to, yeah, they're forcing us to like Team Black, but it's like, no, now we're turning towards Team Green. I'm like, kind of like, initially always was Team Black since season 1, but yeah, as things have started to kind of deviate a bit, I'm like not fully Team Green yet, but I'm like, man, I'm like right on that 50-yard line. I'm like, I'm like the 48-yard line of Team Black's, zone. You know what I'm saying? Trying to fast forward as I can find the Ormond part. Letting it play on my other monitor here. I think we're going to see Paranoid Rhaenyra fall in her final form at season's end. Oh, dude, I mean, like I've been saying, like maybe we'll see Fat Nyra. A lot of people want to see that. The C word isn't as insulting for Brits as it is Americans. Right. And so that's why I was like, oh, someone with a crotch rocket outside. That's why I was like, I mean, the majority of your audience is American, but you're going to just throw that word in there because the show has a lot of British actors in it, right? So you're going to insult a lot of people that are like, oh my God, I hate that word. Guys are like, hell yeah, But God forbid, you mentioned the tatas, the cherries as we were referring to them, the cupcakes as we were referring to them last night on the last night's stream, which is great if you want to go back and watch us talk about Escape from New York. But it'd be like, let's say for example, let's say for example, there was like a female president, and that was like of the same name, and then that person's maybe like female president's like son ended up becoming president one day, and they'd be like, God, I'm like, here's a great example. Let's imagine that Hillary Clinton was ever president, right? Because she'd be like Maylor, right? But let's say Hillary Clinton had a son that ended up becoming president. That son would then go, God, I'm like Hillary with a dick. Right? It's like, oh man, I'm like bad like Hillary Clinton was, as Maylor was. Maylor with teats. I'm like Hillary with a dick, right? Like it's the same thing. What's up, Bootzilla? AI says the Hound uses the word see you next Tuesday roughly 10 to 12 times across the 8 seasons of Game of Thrones. That's it? It's not so much that it's the line itself. It's just one of those, it's like there's so much that's changed that they've already deviated a lot in episode 3 with Rhaenyra supposed to be like, she's supposed to be a lot harsher, right? Like episode 3 should have been a lot darker. And the showrunner and the idea of episode 3 was to try to get us to empathize with her more, to have some sort of sympathy that she's having these problems. She's having a hard time adjusting to being a queen and ruling the realm and trying to fix King's Landing just by itself, not the Bloody Seven Kingdoms. So she's already struggling. And it's like, hey, you wanted to be ruler. This is what it takes. But also, it's like Dan Fogler said, right? Hey, it was your blockade. God forbid they know that too, right? And she's like, oh shit, that's right. Yeah, Mailer should already be alive because you know what happens to Mailer. But I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, it might still happen. Again, like the question is like, how dark do they want to be in the show? Because I feel like the show itself could be a lot darker, but they're not. They're like pussyfooting it, around like. But here, okay. Number one, I wanted to bring this up. Right. So here's Melee's, right? So you can see up on the wall the decay, obviously, and there's no head, but That dragon looks a hell of a lot different than Sunfyre does. So, yeah, the timeline is so messed up, and I don't, I don't know why Ryan Condal left out the timing. Like, again, I mentioned this in the 2 weeks ago on the first stream. All you had to do was just announce time skips, simple text. Plenty of movies, plenty of shows have done that before. No one cares because you're still extrapolating the audience and in being correct for the timeline and maintaining an accurate timeline. But now, like, you screwed it up. And the other thing is you're dragging things out. You're rushing certain parts. You're skipping certain parts. You're leaving out characters. Everything is just kind of thrown into a basket. And it's like trying to cook some nice dishes for food to serve to us as customers, but there's like missing ingredients. Where is Ormund? Damn it! Let's see here. Yeah, I think she definitely wanted to blame Baylor because there's no one else she could have blamed, right? Aside from the guard, the knight that stood by her door, right? Also, what do you guys think about this? We haven't talked about this character yet tonight. What do you think about our boy Hugh Hammer and Ulf the White, who likes to frequent taverns and get drunk? So it was sort of like, oh, yeah, he says, you've given Ulf the patrol by Tumbleton, but my wife's in Tumbleton. And Rhaenyra is kind of like just really quick to kind of dismiss him, like, yeah, like, take it up with him. I don't care. Go ahead and take turns, whatever. Have fun. So I'm for that reason, I'm kind of still concerned or curious to see how his arc and timeline is going to flow from here on out, if you know what I mean. Because I don't know when that moment is going to happen. And yeah, I think it was one of the, that exactly, Dave's right. Like, that was one of the reasons why Barnes like, okay, Ryan, I thought we were like on par here and we knew what we were doing, but now you're just like, so if you're going to keep doing this shit, I'm out. Whatever. I'm getting paid at least. I also think that might be one of the things that like has secretly like caused this inner depression for George. And that's one of the things like he has no motivation to write and finish anything either. In the middle of watching both sides makes bad decisions. What's up, Rebel Rose? How you doing? Oh yeah, this is another thing too. We're just gonna have this on screen here too. So like, now that people are saying, she's the queen of bastards, it's kind of harsh, right? But hey, and I think that needed to be in there too. I'm Team Dragon now, like most of these people except Bela. Yeah, no, it's like I feel bad for the I feel bad for the dragons, honestly. Oh God, what part was? Okay, this is the part where Ormond's like, yeah, no, you could totally break this dude's arm. That's fine. I think he starts going on a rampage after that. Or is it earlier on? Women are superior in the show, so they can't use slurs. Yeah. Kind of pisses me off that Emma Darcy is a they, them, and weirdo in real life. I think she's pretty good looking. Does have a more masculine features, but all in all, the Targaryen costume, in the Targaryen costume scruff, I think she's hot. Yeah, listen, I think Emma Darcy is an attractive woman. You know what I'm saying? And I think she looks good in the Targaryen attire. Absolutely. But yeah, dude, especially when she the first time she like starts making out with Lady Miseria, I was like, oh my god, like what a waste. Deduction of points in my rankings now. No nightmares for Philip. Yeah, dude. I feel that is a low estimate of the Hound saying that, but he put so much power into it that it just maybe seems like he said it more. Yeah, I feel like just it's his delivery, right? Like that's what makes it so special. Might be an interesting adjective for me to choose, but it is special. I think Helaena pulls a lane at the end of the season. Maybe. And right, yeah, they wimped out in Blood and Cheese so bad in the premiere of season 2. So and that blows my mind. You handled the trade-off during season 1 at the halfway point so well, and even throughout the rest of those episodes, the second half of that season. That's why season 1 is obviously the best. And I was telling Vex, because Vex was considering joining these streams, but she never watched it. And I told her, look, season 1 is very good. They handle most of the lore well, most things that come from the book rather well. There are some things that are obviously different, but the acting in season 1 is spectacular. From Emma Darcy to Matt Smith to Patty Considine to I'm forgetting his name, but the guy who plays Otto Hightower as well, right? Look, even Millie Alcock when she was playing young Rhaenyra, I'm like, man, this chick can actually pull off some good acting being younger. She might have a bright future for herself. And now she's playing Supergirl. Wonder how that turned out. I'm kind of glad I'm watching this without reading the books. I'll probably be heated with many of the changes in the show. Right, and I think that's it's not a bad thing, right? And I think we talked about this before on stream, Drac, where I think in some cases, like there's people that I know that never read The Hobbit, and when they watch The Hobbit movies, they're like, oh, I like them, and I'm like, I'm not going to be autistic with this because I will rant and over criticize that movie to death. I still enjoy the Hobbit movies to a certain degree, right? I have to turn my brain off of those because it is so far deviated from the book itself. And I love the Hobbit. I love all of Tolkien's lore, but and I think one of the shows that we were talking about last year that we covered with the prequel to the Terminal List, Dark Wolf. It was only like 7 episodes, but it was like Vex, me, and Gord, and Gooch was on a couple episodes too, right? Like Gord has no knowledge of the books from the Terminal List, and Vex and I both read the first book and the second book, but we didn't spoil anything. We didn't really kind of, we tried to avoid as much as possible, right? We just didn't like to say like, oh, this is a result of that, blah, blah, blah. But and it actually worked out well for someone who hadn't read, has no knowledge of like any sort of lore that comes from the source material, and it's fine, right? Because I think it does make for good conversation, you know, and good perspectives. It's like, well, I've never read the source material, so interesting how that's been changed. Because you look at it as what's being delivered to you, like this is what they've done with the show. How do I look at it? Another example is like Dune. There's plenty of people out there who have never read any of the Dune books, especially the first 3, let alone the first one, or Dune Messiah, which, you know, is based off the new movie that's coming out later this year. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people out there who are going to be like, Dune Part 3 was magnificent. Fantastic movie. And that's fine if those people think that, because they have no knowledge of what's come from the books. But, and I think Part 1 of Dune is better than Part 2 by far, because there's definitely things that Denis Villeneuve changed and left out, which I don't think was a wise choice, but hey, that's just my 2 cents. And that tends to happen, right? Like there are things that work for slight deviations and changes. If you're as long as you're being a high percentage of adapting the source material well, right? Again, perfect example, Lord of the Rings trilogy. There are things that are changed in the movie from the books, but it still fits. It still works well, and it doesn't dilute most of the overall meanings or the themes or the characters, right? Their agencies, their arcs. Can't say the same thing for this show. Hugh doesn't seem ambitious in the show. Curious how Ormund gets him to turn by the end of the season. That's what I'm saying. Like, we see him at the end watching over Tumbleton. I imagine that someone might approach him and he might say, look, all I want is my wife. Which I'd be curious to see if like he finds out that they just killed his wife. Basically, they killed his brother-in-law, right? So I don't know how he was going to take that either. His wife almost, that's the other thing, right? Like his wife almost got graped in this episode. You don't think that's going to piss off Hugh? And be like, but you know, Ormund might say, look, like I broke his arm. Oh, but you still killed my brother-in-law. Why should I join your side? I should burn all of you right here and now. If I were Hugh, that's what I would do. Right. So like he did land outside the gate. So I think it's how it ends. Like he's just kind of looking over Tumbleton, and I'm like, how is this going to work? Right. But like I said, I could, dude, imagine if they're like, hey, we know what, we're actually not going to have Hugh change sides. Sorry for spoilers, but. Yeah, Adam was nowhere to be found, which I was surprised. Yeah, King's Landing had taggers now. How many people there can actually read that? Probably not many, right? Like the one guy comes up and goes, what's it say? And this is Queen of Bastards. All it takes is one person to say what it reads, and that just starts spreading, right? Yeah, there was like this like 3 daggers or like 3 like I don't know triangles, you know. Caraxes is my favorite character. I love the old noodle neck. Yeah, best dragon. Darcy actually had the gall to say in an interview that she likes playing women characters because she thinks she's pretty good at it. No kidding, lady. Gee, you think? I'd hope you're good at playing a woman character. My only issue with season 1 was how little we saw Harmon and Rhaenyra. Yeah. And again, it's skips, right? Time. Rice OnlyFans. Yeah, Rise Iffins, yeah. We need Gooch back already. Yeah, man. I don't know when it's going to come back, but curious to see what he has in mind, what he has planned, and what he wants to do, you know? But and look, I know he's enjoying life. I saw he was in Baton Rouge with his woman. So, I mean, I think the most important thing is that the man's happy. He has joy in his life, in that, he's getting to travel or just not worry about other stuff. You know what I mean? Not to say like I don't think he ever worried about YouTube, but um, sometimes you do need a break. I understand that. But Gooch is a good dude. Great personality. Obviously, just great to talk with, and had a lot of good streams with him. So hopefully one day soon, right? You never know. You never know. Villeneuve does good visuals. Yeah, I think Denis Villeneuve is kind of like in that same camp as Christopher Nolan. Great with visuals. They know how to direct a good movie for the most part. But writing, I think that should be left to someone else. Really? You like Dune Part 2 better than 1? I think, yeah, I mean, 1 is, I just recently rewatched 1. 1 is a bit slower, but that's because there's so much more build up and importance behind it. But I hope so, Jamma. I really do. I hope it's good. I'm sure a lot of people are still going to be hating on it, even though, it's like I feel like people are going to hate on it because it does change and deviate from the books. But I also think they might refuse to acknowledge it's a good movie, or they might say like it was actually a good film, but a terrible adaptation. I think that might be a more accurate delivery. But yeah, what's up, Waylon? I was watching a little bit of y'all on Jacob Ironside's channel while I was in the gym before the stream. So hope you had a good time talking about Fistful of Dollars. Then he also directed Sicario. Dude, yeah, Mad Dog, we will be talking about Sicario at some point this year, I believe. I'm on Masculine Mondays, so I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Florence Pugh's fake American accent in Dune 2 drove me nuts. Redemption said figure, it pronounces like a bit. Figure. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yep. I don't think she was a. Yeah, I remember hearing that was a casting choice, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like Anya Taylor-Joy should have been in her role instead. Because I'm like, I don't even know how much we're going to see of Anya Taylor-Joy in 3 as Paul's sister. The oh god, let me hold on. Let me find it. I don't know why this link I have is just so bloody slow. Might be the server I'm looking on, but I'll try and find it again, Dave. 1 second. Hope Hugh sets those mofos on fire when he finds out. Well, we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, we're gonna analyze the we'll analyze the trailer here in a little bit. I don't think Ulf can read, and yeah, throat goat corrects this dude. Yeah, this is where I was at because I was trying to. Oh, there's the head we're going to be using. Daemon's like, I found me Sheepstealer's rider. This might work out after all. Hold on, is this the Ormond part? Hold on, I think I might have found the alt. Okay, I found the part. Hold on a second. Let me turn on oh, can I turn on subtitles on this channel? Hold on one second. Let me make sure this works. Hold on. Why are the subtitles not working? hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right. I don't know how long I'll be able to play this. I might have to cut this out after the stream, but don't say I never did anything nice for y'all. Hold on.
Useless craven! Can't!
So he said it 4 times already right there. We're gonna pause it for a second. Yo, what's up, Jeff? How you doing, brother? Hope you're well, man. Yeah, man. I would say the first time I was ever on a live stream panel was actually for House of the Dragon Season 2 with Nadia, and I met Kada and Sammy. I'm curious if Ormond gets Ulf and Hugh to believe Rhaenyra will kill them when the war is over. I don't know. Kind of hard to say, if I'm being honest. I'm not sure. Maybe. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of ways they could totally go through this, right? Be happy if Hugh stayed loyal, but the treatment of Adam and Ulf didn't sit well with him, nor should it. They're acting like the war is over and they don't really need the dragon seeds now. Yeah, which is unfortunate too, right? Like, I would prefer to see Hugh stay loyal, but you know, I found part 1 to be way more interesting for Dune. Yeah, that's where I sit, but you know, hell or high water over Sicario. Whoa! Oh, you're talking about writing? I mean, that's something I also want to cover, though. I think you might have recommended that too, Waylon. Discord, maybe. I was disappointed with Dune 2. I had high expectations. I did too, man. I did too. And look, if you like Dune 2 more than one, totally fine. But thoughts on X-Men 97, also reaction to Gentleman and Mobland trailer. I've not watched Mobland trailer yet. I'm super stoked for the Gentleman. I'm actually rewatching season 1 right now, and I'm like, man, not enough people have watched that show. Y'all need to go watch The Gentleman season 1. It's on Netflix if you pay for Netflix. Otherwise, use whatever means necessary. But Guy Ritchie, it's great. It's a great story. It takes place within the same universe as the movie The Gentleman, but is not a direct derivative of it. But I'm looking forward to season 2. One thing that I was debating on doing, though, Mad Dog, is actually probably take a week or 2 to talk about The Gentleman season 1, and then maybe do the same thing for season 2. Since I'm sure we're going to get every episode at once. Right? So I don't think that's the problem with like shows that just like, here's all 10 episodes. Like, to talk about one episode at a time might be kind of tough. So like, we might just do like a long stream. I don't know when that might be, but I'll keep it posted though. Also, yeah, X-Men 97. That last episode was a doozy. I mean, Apocalypse is no joke. R.I.P. Magneto. You got fucking vaped. Literally. Really? You didn't like, are you caught up, JMO? Ormund flips out over here and then Aemon isn't coming to Tumbleton. Yeah. Yeah. Buenas noches. All right, Waylon. Have a good night, brother. Can't confirm the Gentleman Season 1 is awesome. Hell yeah, dude. Not totally writing it off, but Gooch had Bo DeMayo on his show a few times. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Bo DeMayo is a bit unfortunate. I mean, look, whatever he decided to do with his personal life is what it is. You know, it was all behind a paywall on his OnlyFans, whatever. So it's like, at the end of the day, like, I don't care. You know, just write me a damn good show. You know, give us some good X-Men, and that's all I really care about. But okay, so we said it 4 times. Okay, so he says it 5 times. If I count it correctly, 5 times. There we go. How do you hate Targaryens but need them to win the war? Right? It's like a contradiction. But Ormond was definitely thinking that he would actually be there for him. But the fact that he's not is obviously a bit disappointing, because if he was there right now, then obviously he'd be able to find out how to help out Tumbleton in this moment. Would love to have been in his head and how he was going to get rid of Aemon. Yeah. Could have been some like inner monologue we could have gotten from him, or maybe talking to Daeron, which it probably wouldn't go well. But maybe you talk to someone else, the other guy with the bowl cut who looks like Mo. I like how we have someone on Kick saying, I have poo in my pants. Oh, I didn't know that I did. Thank you for telling me. And I've been bullied. I've been bullied in life. Wow, I didn't know that either. But thanks, Anonymous 287. Yeah, fucking see you next Tuesday. Dizzy does not give a F about that. Yeah, it was his adherence to the lore that got him sacked, right? Which I think it was episode 2 or 3 that still said it was written by Bo. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say I think it was half of season 2 that got rewritten, and that they kept half of what he originally wrote, and they went through with. Also, Reacher for season 4 comes out next month. Yes. I think I mentioned this before. I got to catch up on Slow Horses. But Reacher, I will be watching season 4. Don't know if I'll review it per se, but I hope, I imagine, well, I think based on what's happening in the trailer, we should. Yeah, what's up, Blue? I'll catch a replay. Just did it. Yeah. So I think if I do a stream on Friday afternoon, I'm going to talk about some of the Hunt for Gollum stuff. But it's weird. I appreciate what Circus said about not adhering to check boxes, but at the same time, you did cast Anya Taylor-Joy as a female elf, as a ranger, and Andy, I know you read those books because you narrated them, and I have them, and I've listened to them. There aren't female rangers. He is still listed as EP. Yeah, I did see that. Right. So I think Alice has Aemon recovering in bed. But how do you hide a dragon that big? Especially without its rider. So he did. And I don't know. I haven't watched that yet. I was thinking about this last night where I haven't done one of those sort of streams or like raffles or whatever, like you put like horrible movies on like a spin wheel. And then when we get like a dono or something like that, then I'll spin the wheel and I'll I'll watch one of those movies and like talk about it. Right. So like proof I've seen it, or maybe like on like a watch party or something like that. I don't know who would want to watch terrible movies in a party, but that would be one of those movies I'd probably put on the list. I don't remember actually. Good one. I'm gonna have you moderate. I don't know what you're talking about. I forgot. Oh, that's right. Because I was saying how Isaac had a 4th of July stream, and side tangent. Isaac 556. We know he's super flamboyant. He had a live stream on the 4th of July, and he'd never watched, I believe, Independence Day ever, and then didn't like it. Or no, I think he might have enjoyed Independence Day, but he had other movies that he would say he would watch if he hit certain tier goals. And one of those tier goals was Idiocracy. And then he could not even get through Idiocracy. Man, Isaac, bro. We gotta help our boy out. Yeah, I'll try and find that part. But who knows what sort of like witchcraft Alice Rivers is like playing with people's minds, right? Like, God forbid we get female Astartes too soon. Yeah, I'm gonna try and find it. We just I'm just past the See You Next Tuesday part, of course. I need to find out who the girl in the blue dress was as well. This stream is. Let's see here. Isaac refuted the revealed wisdom of the sacred prophecy videography. Yes. It's like, man, it's not a good look, Isaac. Let's see. Here's the boot scene, the boot licking scene. Hold on. That's a dirty boot, y'all. Could be dirtier, but burn the heretic. Yeah. I do know Warhammer. I played tabletop for quite a while. Space Wolves and Necrons are my two armies. I played a lot of the games, though, too. Looking forward to Dawn of War 4 and Total War Warhammer 40K. Okay, where is the bloody... Oh, yeah. Here's Vermithor. Landing outside the gates.
Open your doors!
And then they're like, okay, we're gonna go raiding everyone, but I know. I'm surprised he hasn't seen Sherry's new avatar. It's falling into the trope that all the medieval peasants are muddy and covered in shit. Yeah. It's like, because who knew how to clean their boots and their clothes back then, right? God forbid they use water. Be like, hey, maybe we should wipe this muck off my boots so it doesn't track everywhere. It's like they just think everyone is just like in like the lowborn, or even just soldiers that are just okay, so let's see here. Trying to find that part for this server load is terrible. Okay, let's see here. Okay, here we go. So, let me share my screen. Go back 10 seconds here. So Garrick is saying, "Oh, I'm all innocent and whatnot. I didn't do nothing. I didn't grape no one." And then so tries to say like they're all like Rhaenyra followers or whatever, right?
Rhaenyra. But he struck me.
My lord, now if it please you, we bear you no ill will. But this man went to ravish my sister.
So this dude, so this is his sister in blue. This is Ulf's wife, right? So Ulf's wife, his brother-in-law, Daeron kills him. So we were talking about this earlier. If Hugh finds out that, number one, this dude, the soldier, tried to grape my wife, and then y'all killed my brother-in-law, why should I join your side with my dragon now? I could just roast all of you in this little castle here and not bat an eye. Because my dragon is bigger than Tessarion. Hell, Vermithor could just literally bite Tessarion's head off. You never know. So, Jam, is that for when they're in Harrenhal? I'm just curious. We'll at least get one scene of Cregan this season. I don't remember what happens or when he decides to go south. I was honestly thinking we might not see Cregan Stark until season 4, maybe the finale of season 3 here. I had to burp so loud. Oof. So is it just plain stupidity that would prompt Aegon to have that outburst in the dudes who cut his throat with no resistance? Yeah. It's just spooky sounds and a sheep. No one is wondering or confused about it. It's just weirded out at Harrenhal. Yeah, and in the trailer, it sounds like it's Vhagar, and the way it's cut, she's like, "Ooh," like almost like, "Oh, you guys are about to get spooked because Vhagar's here," but you're asking where Aegon is or Aemond is, right? It definitely played us in the damn trailer. Is there any episode of the season that doesn't involve some attempted graping? I don't think there was any in the first 2 episodes. And yeah, Vermithor versus Tessarion would obviously definitely be lopsided as Vhagar and Eric's. Yeah. Which again, it's sort of like, why you guys definitely need me more than I need you. So, like, again, it's like we've got 6 dragons. You have Yes, one very big one and one very small one. But the rest of ours are definitely more on the larger side. So like I like Hugh as a character in the show because again, obviously in the book, Hugh's like I kind of goes a little ham and like the celebrations, he's just like punching women and stuff like that. After the gullet, um, but I definitely think that they could completely deviate from what happens in the book with Hugh and just be like, you know what? Instead of Hugh changing sides, what Hugh's going to do instead is he's going to turn on the Hightowers, go on a rampage, and start burning the town himself because he's pissed because you killed his wife and his brother-in-law, and I guess sister-in-law as well, probably, right? So and his kid. So I'd say at that point, like, F all y'all. Y'all are toast, nice and crispy, like crispy bacon. And maybe Rhaenyra was like, no, Hugh, don't do this. This is not what I wanted to do. Because now it's like a bad representation of Rhaenyra. Oh my God, you have one of your knights, one of your dragon riders roast this town and innocent people and townsfolk die because of it. That could, in some sense, be a betrayal. And then they still kind of have to do something with Hugh at that point afterward. But who knows, right? I was hoping we would. I was like, that would have been so cool. And at the moment his mouth opened and it started going yellow, I'm like, ah, again. Yeah, if this doesn't feature Elliot Page as a dragon, I'm giving it. Like, I mean, Ormund said see you next Tuesday like 5 or 6 times in a row, though. In one episode. It was quite hilarious. I think in the book, Hugh is much more. He is, yeah. But I think in the book, he's promised a house in the Driftmark, I think, or is it in the Riverlands? I forgot. I had to look, but Goodwin is a far right chud incel, obviously. Hold on. I just saw Zaxi. What up, dude? How you doing, man? Killed a wife and in-laws sounds like an exemplary divorce lawyer. I mean, that's kind of what Ormund is like, honestly. Every dragon has an Elliot Page inside, refuses to come out. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that I think we covered a lot. Between hating Lady Mazzaria now, Daemon, the reason why he lied, Rhaena being guest portrayed by Lori Lightfoot. Talk about the dragon seeds, throat goat, Caraxes, who else? Hugh, Ulf. The book changes, right? So we've covered a lot. So tell you what, let's let me pull up the trailer for next week, or what they say is the rest of the entire season. She was Goodwin. Let me show you. Let me show you in the show because I know you haven't seen it. So let me show you Lori Lightfoot's cameo. Hold on. The Balrog of Morgoth. Just kidding. That'd be insulting. Throw goat in the background like, yo, who this bitch? I like how Damon's like, can barely see her, but he's stumbling backwards like, I done seen a ghost. It's my daughter. Exactly. The Lori Lightfoot look fits much better. There you go, good one. I showed my friend this earlier. He was like, damn, that's fucking spot on, dude. Yeah, Sheepstealer is definitely like of about equal size. Like if they fought, it would be a pretty good battle. I mean, I still think Caraxes would win because he's just so unique in design. You think he's bigger? I think it's because of the way they look. Because Caraxes is they might be like the same in length, but I think because Caraxes is more like a bloodworm, right? You know, throat goat. Seize the dragons. Well, I think it's because the hair is kind of leaning forward more, but somewhat similar. I was like, wait, how did she cut off all her hair? She got scissors somewhere? She have a knife that we just didn't know about? I was like, oh my God, who does this remind me of, man? The Halloween costume Life was wearing for COVID. Oh my God, what was that? What's up, Dominic? How you doing, brother? Yeah, confirm Rhaena is taking Nettles' story plot points. Now we just to see if Daemon tells Rhaenyra the writer's name is Nettles. Well, so we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but my thing was, I don't know. We were saying it's a possibility someone might spoil the truth to Rhaenyra for one rhyme or reason and saying, hey, by the way, we did see Rhaena and we did see her with the dragon. She was here and now she's not. And then, the word could get to Jane, Aaron, and then she could be like, yeah, she was. So, but I don't know where she is. And at that point, Rhaenyra could go back to Daemon. Why'd you lie? Why didn't you just be forthright with me? Or again, I was saying that she's gone. We might not see her ever again. Like they might be completely done with her, or she might come back at the end and some pivotal moments in the end of season 4, perhaps, and be like, I'm Nettles, and not even refer to herself as Rhaena. Like, Rhaena, don't know who she is. My name is Nettles, and like, peace out after the God's Eye. So we'll find out. We talked about it tonight, July 14th. We will come back to this moment in time. But yeah, let's look up the trailer before we log off real quick. Hold on now. Hold on. Oh, YouTube, why are you being so bloody slow for me right now? Let's see here. Oh, so the Dragon, season 3, episode 5. Do they not have it? No, I put 6. Silly me. I don't see an official one from HBO, ironically, but maybe this one from Rotten Tomatoes will work. Mid-season trailer. Full screen this bad boy. Turn on the volume just a little bit, and we'll share that screen. She used her lightsaber like man the Acolyte. Also see where Ormund says maybe drop pictures instead of letters for Boros Baratheon was really funny. Yeah. Yeah, Ormund was definitely, I think, the spotlight for this episode. And we were kind of surmising that last week when we were watching the promo for episode 4. We're like, Ormund kind of has like this aura, right? Yeah, she going snitch. Well, yeah, so I don't know if they're going to keep doing that, right? So it's like, how is she going to come back and marry a Hightower at this point? You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if that's going to happen now. That whole storyline might be just completely put. You didn't see it? So it's not so much the season 5 trailer, Jamma. It's like the mid-season trailer. So what we're seeing or about to watch is literally through the rest of the season here. So I'm like, are we just gonna get battles and like actual tension-filled moments every episode? Because thank God. Penis phobia. Oh my God. Yeah, the actor. I actually like the actor that plays Ormund. I think he's good. I mean, that performance yelling "See you next Tuesday" and slamming the table with the sword was great. Daeron's like, get out. Just leave. Get out now. It's gonna explode. All right, well, we'll do the thing, play, pause kind of crap. Okay, here we go.
My patience has its bounds.
Hold on, let's. Well, we know we can get some sort of dragon fire at some point. Again, who knows if this is going to be in episode 5 or not. This might be episode 6, 7, or 8. Expect dragon battles in your dragon show. It's too much to ask for. God forbid. They'll end up showing Rhaenyra before. Hold on. They'll end the show before Rhaenyra would get to her marriage. I think it'll end with the Hour of the Wolf events. Yeah. All battles from here on is fine by me, and they better not screw up the Daemon duel. Yeah. That would be a catastrophe if they mess that whole thing up.
Have I not shown you mercy?
This is finished!
Well, we got Skinny Boy. We do see Skinny Boy back practicing his sword skills. Throat goat. He looks pissed. Rhaenyra is a little angry. I wonder if she was talking to Alicent about, have I not shown you mercy? I would presume she's talking to Alicent. Alicent's like, can I just get a seat on the council? I've shown you mercy. Yeah. This is Sparta. That's a good question, actually. Let's yeah, see, it says in the weeks ahead, Jamma. Just hold on. We'll go back here.
This is finished!
So she's outdoors. Who is she yelling at? I wonder if she's yelling at Daemon. I mean, she's yelling at Daemon about this. Because like right after this is, again, could be totally wrong here, but like the scenery might line up. And so then Caraxes is like, bitch, don't you be yelling at my rider like that. I don't give a shit if you're queen or not. Whoa, Dave. Ormund had a nice butt. Him getting out of the bathtub with another parallel to GO3. Yeah, Game of Thrones when Dany got out of the bath in front of Dario. I mean, at least Dany was much better to look at, but maybe like she's sick of everyone, perhaps. Yeah, I think she's yelling at Daemon. Why? Not sure. Maybe Maybe she's sick at all the people. Or maybe she thinks like everything they're doing is finished, like it's all over. Could be yelling at Crowster after she orders the execution of the dragon scenes. Maybe. Oh, for sure. I mean, they didn't go as far as to show Dong, which again would have been a thing that Game of Thrones would have done. So.
Rhaenyra has the throne.
Okay. Some nice narration by Alicent here.
It is she who rules now.
So that's Vermithor flying around Tumbleton, right? So
We should have burned them when we had the chance.
Mind can resist the most.
who do you think Daemon is talking about? We should have burned them when we had the chance. Do you think he's talking about we should have burned Ormund and the Hightowers when they met on the field in the beginning of episode 3? That's what I think he might be referring to, because at that point you had 3 dragons there. 4. Sorry, was it was Daemon? Was it all 3 dragon seeds? I forget. So at that point, yeah, you like 3 dragons. You would have killed Tessarion. They thought they probably would have killed Daeron, unless Daeron was actually there. We just didn't see him because they were hiding him when they changed his hair. But Ormund would be dead. His whole army would have been roasted. And Tumbleton would have not been occupied by the Hightowers, by the Greens. Yeah. No, Chorus is definitely going to have something to say. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Okay, so then what was Ormond saying here? Hold on.
Cunning mind can resist the most savage of beasts.
A cunning mind can resist the most savage of beasts.
Rhaenyra's defiled our great house, diminished the Iron Throne. She is no queen.
All right. Well, there's some more between Timu, Daemon, and Alice Rivers. Yeah, there's the good Scottish lord. Yeah, I'm excited to see him back and just ripping faces off. Yeah. I think. Yeah. So I think it's what Ulf and Hugh here. Follow me. Yeah. So Silverwing, Vermithor, Hugh. I don't know if Ulf is on Silverwing, but yeah, there's still a little ways out of Tumbleton. Yep. So where the hell is Sea Smoke? Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, where the hell is the largest dragon? Like, did she just do some magic and just make him disappear? Weird.
Diminished the Iron Throne. She is no queen.
We have endured much.
Hold on. Okay, so here's teary-eyed Emma Darcy. Daemon in the background. I mean, she looks pissed here, right? She does not look pleased at all. Isn't it? I'll probably get some milk. Some milk and cigarettes.
And though we languish, we will not lose heart.
Hold on a second. Let's go back. So we do see Rhaena again. So who's this? Is this Rhaena? Probably, but those look like 2 dragons. So if one of those are Sheepstealer, then who's the other dragon?
Though we languish, we will not lose heart.
Right, like those are clearly 2 dragons. Yeah, that's actually cool landscape shot. You think it's Sheepstealer and I don't think I didn't think they would ever include Cannibal. Oh, you think it might be them like looking at dragons? She's looking at dragons from afar. Maybe like she's like hiding, perhaps. Could be that. Yeah. Do I think Rhaenyra thinks Aegon and Viserys are dead? But at this point in time, I don't think so. But maybe that's why like there's the teary-eyed shot. Maybe that's what's kind of causing her to think that by that point. Yeah, the shepherd in that event. Again, like I could see it happening towards the latter part, maybe like in the penultimate episode, maybe like episode 7. But I could also see them waiting and like including it in the beginning of season 4 too. Yeah, exactly. Maybe the lead up to that in like the latter part of this season, and then Kratos came out for a hangout with his wild homie. Okay, let's see here. Let me go back just a second.
We will join them glorious in battle.
Okay, so at least he's actually getting suited up. Hold on, let me go back for a second here. Okay, so there's Craxus in the background. I don't see any other dragons, but curious to see why he's got this like puzzled look on his face, and he just kind of comes to a halt here. Also, he has some of the coolest looking armor. Even his horse has badass looking armor. And then I think that's okay. So this is, damn it. Who's writing it? Is that Rhaenyra? Or this looks too small. It's not. This isn't Vermithor. Is this? Do you think this is Syrax and Sea Smoke maybe? Or Silverwing, perhaps? Okay, yeah, I'm like, that looks like it might be Rhaenyra, because it looks like she has blonde hair. Yeah. Yeah, so that's Syrax up front, and then I think that might be Sea Smoke in the background. Or Silverwing, yeah. One of the two. They might ditch the shipper character and just give it this plotline to Sylvie Bacon's yeah, you think Sea Smoke? Yeah, because if that would make more sense, because if Silverwing and Vermithor are still at Tumbleton, then Syrax and Sea Smoke would probably be here, right? Like maybe Rhaenyra is like, okay, Adam, come with me, and hey, maybe because Adam accompanies her and follows her commands, then she's like, you know what? You've honored yourself. You've honored me. I will now refer to you as Adam Valerian. Who knows? Maybe before the season's over, they will actually have the Valerian surname. That'd be something. If Sarah has wrote it, then what we do get probably won't be too far off from that. Yeah, I agree. And I think she wrote a majority of this season too. Are we? Okay, good. Oh, that's right. There was some other lady, I think, that was writing a couple of these episodes. We talked about that last week. Philippa something or other. Okay, let's see what's left. What's left.
And they will sing songs of it.
Well, we won't be singing songs about you, Kristen Cole. Yeah, I wonder when this is actually going to happen. And you know, man, I hope we don't get like they skimp out on these battles here. Like we see a little bit more than we see here in the promo, the trailer, and it's like, cool, here's 15 30 seconds of a battle, and then we're just going to fast forward to the battle's over, and here's the results of this battle, and that's that. Like we've saw times before. I think so too. I wouldn't be surprised if a few characters got different deaths.
Stand your ground!
Hold on. Okay, so there's Daemon on the throat goat. I just want to let you guys know, you didn't know this, that Kata loves Kristen Cole. He has like a huge graphic design shirt of Kristen Cole. It may be in a framed picture as well. Just thought you guys should know that. Yeah, I know what you meant, but yeah, I think he's gonna get a different death. Hold on. Meant to. I can't tell what dragon that is. Is that correct? Is that Caraxes in the background above Ormund here? It looks like it probably. That's what I think. Yeah. And I don't know if there's like some sort of fire grenade or bomb or explosive at the gate here. I don't think it's dragon fire or anything like that. Damn it. Yeah, it looks like some sort of explosion by this gate, not an actual like flame from a dragon. But we do know that I guess Daemon gets back on foot and is doing his stabby stab with Dark Sister. That's what I'm saying. So I was like, that I don't remember that, but hey, that's going to be interesting. That's what I'm saying. They might change so much moving forward. Yeah. And I think that's what the remainder of the season might be. Like, hey, and look, it might make sense for them to do it on the show, like for TV purposes, right? Because at least then they could say we filmed it all together instead of like having to do two different battles. Let's just film it all together. And so like they probably had to merge a lot, like Daemon being here. So I hope it doesn't screw things up though. I might be a little concerned about it, but dude, that's 100% Kata. Yeah. He's one of the children of the forest. Imagine. He doesn't die. Yeah, it's definitely Caraxes. So, but yeah, that's essentially the rest of the season. Maybe. I mean, that's kind of like what the old patterns were, right, in Game of Thrones. Like the penultimate episode was always like one of the big dramatic points, and then the finale was always like the aftermath of whatever took place in the finale, right? So I think there's going to be movement in 5 and 6. I think I hope there's some tension, but I think this battle is going to be all of episode 7. It's sort of like, where are they going to spend a majority of their budget for season 3? Like I think too, like if you think about it, yes, they gave us the Battle of the Gullet, but they definitely left out more of what that episode in moment could have given us as a show, and obviously an important part in the book. But I wonder if they're going to do the same thing, or maybe they're like, hey, we're going to include the Gullet in season 3 here, but we realize that Tumbleton has significance for a lot of characters, a lot of moments in the story. So let's try to maybe merge things, and then at that point we can just blow our money load on that episode, because obviously it's going to have a lot of production for, I mean, the amount of people that are going to be on screen, or the amount of CGI that gets used and filled in with the background, and obviously the dragons. So there are a lot of movies and shows that need to just say not based on so and so, but loosely, ever so vaguely based on the book. It's like the story based on George Lucas. No, is it though? Loosely based on Fire and Blood, which is loosely based on what happened. Yeah, partially inspired by. In the realm of possibilities, used by so and so. Yeah, right. In name only. Varying differences. So yeah, which is loosely based on the anarchy. Yeah, it'll be curious, and I'll be curious, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think after we get episode 5, we could probably look back on this mid-season trailer and see what wasn't shown, and then have an even better idea of like, oh, we're definitely getting this, in episode 7, which is weird. Again, I don't know why they called this episode Tumbleton. I thought that was a little misleading. They could have come up with a different name, honestly, but yeah, just weird. Just not the best. I would have preferred like majority of, obviously, like there was the inclusion of Tumbleton. We did see some scenes take place within Tumbleton, but overall, the episode wasn't entirely focused on Tumbleton. So it was inspired by something. Fire and Blood with the serial numbers filed off, right? This is what I think will happen is a made up word based on what I think is in 2026 agendas. There are stills, is there? Let me see if I can find them. $19, you said? Okay, I found them. Here we go. Hang on. We'll go through these and then we'll call it the night. All right. Look at this lovely scene between Daemon and Rhaenyra over some candlelight. Probably doing some praying, which I don't think we saw since season 1. when Rhaenyra and Alicent, I think, were at this moment. Another scene between Daemon and Rhaenyra talking, probably devising a plan, plotting. Maybe so-and-so found out about something. Maybe Rhaenyra's looking back, make sure no one is around or hearing nearby. No little spies, right? No ears. Exactly. Daemon looking a little concerned. I wonder who he's looking at, though. Some sort of cellar in King's Landing, perhaps? Okay. Daemon with the gold cloaks. Looks like they've got smiles on their faces. So maybe he's giving them some sort of some sort of speech. Lifting spirits, perhaps. Oh, maybe this is when he pays them. They're like, hell yeah, getting that coin. Oh, so we did see this in the trailer, right? Man, it looks like shit. Yeah, all the rats in the castle. Remember that? Yes, the theory with Larry Strong words the rats, and that's how he spied on the Red Keep. Yeah, it actually could be the point. Yep. Rhaenyra is definitely playing Daemon accent. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, you don't even believe in this in the gods, anyways. Rhaenyra, what are you doing? Not anymore. All right, just a 1 and 2, a back and forth. He's probably over here. Yeah, they look depleted. Seen better days, Cole. You've seen better days. What do you think is happening in here between mother and daughter? Oh, they have the same haircut. Look at that. Are they the same hairstyle? Look at that. Yeah, he did. We get cats next episode, so she listened to Alan. Yeah. And she's like, we used to get cats. Like, oh, cats, huh? Yep. That morale looks broken. I'm not sure. I remember Good Riding Goodwin. Those were fun times. Allison's like, you know, your brother kissed me. And she's like, weird. I wanted to do the same thing. Right? Yeah. It's probably like, who's the father, Helaena? Or Helaena? Who's the baby daddy? That's true. Helaena becomes the cat lady. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if he'll die in this next episode, or maybe he'll die in Tumbleton. Okay, just a more extended scene of where they're at. Probably after they've had the conversation, and Helena's like, "I'm out of here, Mom. Sorry." Maybe this is where she's trying to feed the cats. Maybe. Uh-oh. But I don't know about you guys, but I don't think Alice Rivers is attractive. What's up 410 Marsh? Do you think Ormund has been physically abusing Daeron? I don't think so. I could see what you mean by it, but I don't think so. I wonder if Daeron has seen Ormund abuse others, perhaps. And so he kind of is like, he follows him and listens to what he says. So he knows that I don't want to get abused as well. But I think he's just trying to follow him and do right by him. That's what I think. Yeah. I know, right? Yeah, she has more of the ugly witch look to her, not like Melisandre, who's much more attractive. That's she definitely has a masculine look to her. That's for sure. There are other women on I think Emma Darcy is a much more attractive woman than Alice Rivers here is. Yeah. Yeah. You think he's lashing out on Daeron? I don't know. I mean, I think he's just falling in line because he's seen other people. But who knows? Maybe there's more to it. Brow ridge, that would be the envy of Neanderthals, and a nose like that would be popular. Yeah, I know. I mean, look, for Aemon's by look, I'll take what I can get. Yeah, but yeah, she pulls off the crazy lady. I need to be a witch. Again, nothing against her acting. I'm just saying, as a looks, she's not a looker. Daeron has seen Ormund lose his cool before he knew. True, and so I wondered if he's just seen how Ormund can act, and maybe again he's seen him lash out before, but maybe not at him, at others, right? She could be in the interest of the Goonies. Hey, you guys. Probably, Yeah, bro, never take that necklace off. If you take that necklace off, Tur might come after her, but the rest of us would be like, "Yo, keep that necklace on." Let's see what else we got. Okay. You got old Laris Clubfoot with Aegon the Scarred. Looks like he has an apple, so he's at least eating something, right? Who's complaining about not getting any food. Now he has an apple. Yo! What's up, Yakub? I was listening to the stream and I was working out. He's also racing against Targaryen, so well, that's true. And maybe he has given him a Sean Connery fresh one, perhaps. Twin brother. Good one, yeah. I don't think Ormund would hit Daeron, even if he's in charge. Daeron is still prince, right? And I think because especially in this episode, he realizes that Daeron could be the would-be king. So does it make sense to abuse a possible king? I mean, I'm sure it's been done in the past, but Aemon the Gilf Slayer, if he takes the necklace off, it's definitely over. Yeah. Later, Jax. Good to see you, man. Hope you have a good night and a good hump day tomorrow. Oh, man, this is a good shot here. We finally see Aegon without his hood on, so we can see full scarring. Now, this is more forehead like Gloria Lightfoot for sure here. But it's just Aegon and his thoughts, y'all. I mean, what do you think? What do you think Aegon is pondering? Is he pondering what I'm pondering? Is he pondering what you're pondering? To rule the world and dominate it. Absolutely. I mean, listen, I think he's just pondering about his best boy. It's like, no one will believe me that Sunfyre's alive, but he is. I believe it. All right, Philip. Have a good night. You see much receding hairline. I'll never look good again. He's thinking. I forgot what this dude's name was. Mo? One of the Stooges. No, it's Ormond's like right-hand man. I forgot. He's maybe looking at Ormond like, Ormond's freaking out again. All right, I'm just going to stand here quietly and wait till he's done. Shemp. Yeah. Rough John Roxton. All right. All right. Gold cloak action. I wonder if this is the same that takes place the same scene or shortly thereafter, as we saw earlier when Daemon is giving that speech. Oh yeah, that bulkhead is not joking around. He has a Valyrian steel sword called Oberon Maker. Count the seas until Ormond calms down. Yeah. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he said it one less today. Tomorrow, maybe he'll break a record. Who knows? I don't even care what she's thinking or what her scene is, honestly. Oh, okay. Confirmed. Everyone's favorite tart. I know. I know, right? It's everyone's favorite Lady Misery. Not just kidding. Yeah, I wasn't sure that we were going to get it or not this episode, but that makes me a bit happy, I will say. So that's one good thing we should be getting next episode. Confirmed. Just another angle from that scene. And then the last screen. Oh, okay. Adam and Bela. I kind of wonder when what's happening here. I wonder if this might be the moment where Rhaenyra could be talking to both of them, and maybe this is where she actually gives Adam his right his Valyrian surname. Maybe this is where she's talking to Bela, or hey, I was going to blame you, but who knows? Honestly, yep, Ride of the Ruin and Oscar Tully. Young Oscar Tully. Oh, shit. I need more offspring. It does look rather weak. Dude, compared to what Alan is wearing and Corlys, like their armor looks so much better. Slash uncles, yeah. This is where they got this, dude. Oh my god, Gilbert, you might be right. What if this is where Christopher Nolan got the idea from season 1 of House of the Dragon? It's like, oh, well, they made Valerians a different tone. I'll make Helen of Troy the same. Yes, that sounds like a great idea for the movie based on Homer's Odyssey. Yes, I'm a brilliant filmmaker. Yes, that'll bode well. People will enjoy it and not say 1 ounce of troublesome thoughts. Yes, print it. I think Rhaenyra is going to ask Adam to come. Yeah, and I think it's where we see in the trailer that there's Sea Smoke and Cyrax. I hope so, because again, like by this point in the story, he already is called Adam Valerian. So we got the Odyssey House of the Dragons crossover before GTA 6, y'all. Look at that. No one said it was possible, but we got it. And no one asked for it either, but we still got it. I don't know what's going to happen with Bela. I wonder if Rhaenyra kind of puts her in timeout. Like, you never stopped Jace from leaving. Should have been your duty. He was your husband too, as he was my son. Like, yeah, have you met your son? I couldn't tell him no. Plus, he was going for his brothers. Oh, wait, that happened in the book. Just kidding. So, but yeah, I think season 5. Wow, episode 5 could be pretty decent. Yeah, she won't talk to her until she pops off for sure. So I think we're all in agreement that episode 3 is probably the weakest episode so far. So, and like, it seems like the consensus is like episode 2 is the best. I don't know where it's probably like 2, 1, 4, 3, I think is like the ranking right now. So I think as long as episode 5 is better than 3 and 4, again, we're just kind of looking into the bar. Episode 5 has to be good as good as episode 2. Oh yeah, she said she sent Bela out looking for Sheepstealer as well, right? I think, and to go try and find gold coin, whatever. Rate them by lore accuracy according to the books. Well, 3 is still at the bottom. Then I would probably keep the. I'd say 3 is still at the bottom. I feel like either 2 or 1, it could probably be like probably even. But it'd be like 1 or 2, then episode maybe 4 and then 3, I guess. But they're still very far off altogether, though. So now, if I'm rating 1 to 10 for each episode, then yeah, it's a different story. When does Talon pop back? Back up? He's going to drift back to Essos. Oh yeah, that is a good question. God, he might not pop up again until the end of the season, right? Still hung up on what they'll do with Stormcloud now that they took him out of they took out his book ending. Hope he isn't just in the pit. I mean, who else would he go to? Like, I'm trying to think about who would still be left to claim him and ride. Which again, that's another problematic loose end. I don't know who they would give, honestly. I think everyone is like all accounted for on the dragons. I can ride 2 dragons. So it'd be nice if you just like you yelled at one of the dragons that would just listen to you because you're just speaking in like High Valyrian, right? Like the dragon whisperer. Maybe. So okay, so then we're not going to see him again then. Yeah, so we're good. I'm a dragon riding a dragon talking to another dragon. Yeah, because okay, so we've got Syrax, Caraxes, Sea Smoke, Vermithor, Silverwing. We don't have Sea Smoke, or we don't have Sheepstealer, obviously. What sixth dragon am I forgetting? Then there's Vhagar, Tessarion, Sunfyre, Moondancer. Yeah, okay. That's right. Yeah, for Baela. Yeah, I could think. There we go. Oh wait, who's? Wait, what's the name of Baela's dragon? I'm having a brain fart. Yeah, but Moondancer is on the other side though. Right, Moondancer's the green dragon. Because you'd have Moondancer, Vhagar, and Tessarion on the green side. Dreamfire. That's right. There we go. Wait, okay, so Moondancer is Baela's, then Dreamfire is Helena's. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Okay. It's too bad we didn't see Cannibal, but hey. I didn't know I was supposed to know 32 dragons. As long as you know who the best dragons are, that's all good. Joffrey's dragon. Ooh. I honestly don't know. I don't remember. Oh, hold on. I have to. Taraxes. Yeah, and we lost Vermax with Jace in the gullet. Yeah, Taraxes. Yep. And you sure can. When did they change from Babylonian sounding dragon names to MLP? Yeah. Also, Aegon's kids have dragons in the books too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the eggs we finally see at the end of the season are like, those are the eggs that get to Daenerys Targaryen, right? Do you think we're gonna have they announced it? I know there was rumors about having a show that was going to be comprised of Robert Baratheon's rebellion against the Mad King. Could happen though. I guess don't they mention that by the end all the dragons were, isn't it Cersei was talking about all the in the end of the dragons were super small, that they could only fit inside of the dragon pit and like they were all just killed there, something like that. Except for the most badass ass of dragons with Balerion. Yeah, it's kind of funny how you go from a name like Balerion the Dread to like these like Moon Dancer, Dreamfire. There's a play coming up. Pull the casting for the play and it starts in Dane's. Oh wait, that's the play that George Martin was talking about, right? Yeah, with the new stage play is The Mad King, right? Production runs from July 20th through September 5th of this year. Yeah, I see the Royal Shakespeare Company. Interesting. Yep. Royal Shakespeare Company from the Mad King. I don't know. I thought they were, but I could be wrong. Unless they canceled it. Let's see here. Let's see. I don't see anything official. I think it was talked about. There might be a play about it. That's kind of lame. Why are we doing plays all of a sudden? This is from I'm reading a Screen Rant article from February 19th, 2026. It's talking about the Mad King. Oh, so that is okay. So the Mad King play is about Robert Baratheon's prequel. So we're not going to get a show about it. Yeah, Game of Thrones' Mad King brings Robert Baratheon's life on stage. Boo.
Why are you gay?
That's a bummer. That's a bummer. I mean, I'm not surprised. Oh, for sure. Yes, that is supposed to be done by Gandhi Tartakovsky, actually. So he's doing that, and I think he's also doing a Conan the Barbarian show as well. For sure. And I'm like, you get the story, but like it's obviously happening in real time, but in much less time. And you're probably going to leave some things out. Nothing official. The only things like pre-production might be Aegon's Conquest and the animated show. Yeah, and I mean the whole thing about the animated Corliss show is I wasn't expecting that, but I think it's probably because of the context of what's been happening here on House of the Dragon. I think it's already in it might be already in pre-production. Maybe he's doing it after the Conan show. Let's see. Yeah, the show will focus on early adventures of Corlys Velaryon, the sea snake, as he travels across uncharted and exotic seas. I don't see a release date yet, but my guess is it'll probably happen after the Conan show, probably. Should be pretty interesting though. Trying to see if there's anything good. Let's see. Let's see. We got Aegon's Conquest. Something else called the 10,000 Ships series, being written by Ebony Booth. I don't know what accuracy there is in that. It's about the legendary fleet from Game of Thrones. It's that should be interesting. In the lore of George R. R. Martin's Song of Ice and Fire, the 10,000 Ships refers to the massive fleet led by warrior queen Princess Nymeria, fleeing the destruction of her homeland by the Valyrian freehold. She guided her people on a perilous, years-long migration across the sea, which ultimately culminated in them settling in Dorne. This epic odyssey is being developed by HBO as a Game of Thrones prequel series. No idea when that is going to be released, though. More girl power, y'all. Yeah, would be better if it did feature zombies, right? I know. Rubber Rebellions on TV screen would have been so much better. Oh, really? That would have been fun if they still went. I mean, I think as long as Gendy is like Gendy from like seasons 1 and 2 of Primal, then it could be good. But not like season 3, which again, it's a whole new story. So I don't see a reason why things should be bad. But as long as the art production is up to par. Right. Mad Dog just out with it. I know. They forgot to tie the ships down. They all got lost. I honestly did not even know that was a thing until just now. And I'm surprised that it's actually happening. Who's going to care about that? I think more people are going to be excited for Gendy doing Conan in the Sea Snake show, honestly. Because you probably see like a young Corlys animated. He's probably going to be like on a rampage, like charting the the waters. Probably some weird monsters they're probably going to create, right? And come up with, and then battles of who knows what. So could be interesting. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it again. But when we covered Primal season 3, man, that was rough. That was rough. And I don't know if he just had to do it because of money or a deal, something with like maybe contractual obligation. Who knows exactly what it was, but good one's right. Starting to have concerns about Gendy. Yeah, like if he's hitting a wall, and I think when the Conan show comes out, this is going to be the telling port for Gendy. Like he might just be like on the decline, unfortunately, and then. But hopefully this is maybe more of a bounce back. Hopefully we see like old form Gendy here. So Not more people. The casuals won't watch anyway, but it's less of a risk than other female-led masculine show costs less money. Yeah, the animated route is easier to do side projects, and and I'm fine with that. I'm not. I don't know if I would want major important pieces of the story produced in animated shows. Like I wouldn't want Robert's Rebellion in an animated form. Like I think Robert's Rebellion needs to be in live action. Limited season, 1 season, that's it. Give us like 12 episodes. Don't drag it out. Would prefer season 3 just be Spear waking up decades later, never knew he was long gone. Of course, if he's a zombie, he probably wouldn't care too much. He is a zombie, but then they retcon the shit out of that. Yeah, it should have been an anthology. Yep. It ruined the ending of Spear in season 2. Unfortunately. So, but anyway, hopefully episode 5 is better than season or the last 2 episodes. I think episode 2 is the par for this season. I mean, the steals look interesting. I think there could be some promises, certain characters, but yeah, that there's still a lot that remains to be seen. So, and as we know so far, things might look one way, and then we see it go completely different. Because one reason or another, they just decided to overwrite the lore or change the lore. So, hey, happens, right? But anyway, good stream, you guys. Appreciate y'all hanging out. You guys rocked in chat tonight. As always. So, tomorrow, might be on ABF's channel, in the early evening, for Trigger Happy. May or may not do gaming stream Thursday. We'll see. And then, Friday permitting, we'll see if I do it like an afternoon stream, but otherwise, Monday night for Masculine Mondays, we're going to be talking about, tentatively talking about Troy, because we're getting the wonderful Odyssey movie coming out this weekend, which I know so many people are excited for. We were thinking about doing an alternative for a Sam Neill movie, but maybe we're just going to figure out something in the coming weeks. But then, yeah, next Tuesday night, we'll be talking about episode 5 for House of the Dragon. So, but, yep, night, Jamma. I'll catch you later, man. And, all right, Mad Dog, I just be on the lookout. So, but, you guys are awesome. And, I will catch everyone later.